Guys, Casual Cubing here. Today I'm gonna be going over every single parity case, all the way from cubes like from 4x4 to 7x7, and they're gonna include both OLL and PL parity. And before I get into all the cases, quick disclaimer: cases like these, where all four edges are just scrambled up like this, or essentially we can just say unsolved. Those will not be included. We will only be for the PL parities. We will only be looking at this one and this one. So yeah, let's get into the first case, which will be on 4x4. Give me a second. So yeah, the first case is probably the most common case. This is a case that everyone has probably seen before, at least once on their 4x4. It's called OLL parity. Now for 4x4 OLL parity, we have one flipped edge and the rest of the three are oriented. But if you have sorry, just give me a second. What? But if you have like three edges unoriented, then you also have like OLL parity. So if you have an uneven number of edges unoriented, then you've got yourselves OLL parity. So over here you just hold it from this angle with the flipped edge in front of you. All right. So yeah, this angle, and you hold and you the arc goes like this. Sorry for the start there. X rotation. Now note that all the U-moves in this algorithm are gonna be just U2s. So we're just gonna be alternating like U2s, like double flick with my right hand and then with my left hand. And honestly, I like just do my U2s with my left hand like this for some reason. So like this one, yeah. But I can also do double flick. So yeah, quick breakdown will be like R wide U2, double flick, X. Same thing again, R wide G2, R wide U2 prime, and why the U2 prime instead of a U2 is cause like I did a rolling R like this, U2 prime, and then R wide prime, U2, and this is the only time we're gonna be doing a lefty move. L, U2, R wide prime. Since my fingers are in the awkward position, I'm gonna do a U2 prime like this. U2 prime and U2 do the same thing, so you don't need to worry about that. R wide, U2, R wide prime with the D grip, U2, R wide prime. So yeah, now let's get into PLL parity, where we have there are like two cases for PLL parity. One is the opposite one, and the other is the adjacent one, which I'm gonna show you later in this video after this case. So we see that this edge needs to swap with this edge, these two need to swap, and these two are solved. So we keep them on the right side. AEF goes with this edge, the edges at front. All right. So the standard algorithm goes like this. Honestly, I use the inverted alg, which is just basically the reverse, which also goes like this. I know that for some like me, the transition may be a little bit awkward from U wide moves to U moves, and yeah, it can get awkward, but you're gonna have to get used to it. So let me just see. You and I have a little bit of problem over there. So now we're gonna get into the final case for 4x4, and then we move on to 5x5. So this is another PLL parity case where we have these two adjacent edges swapping. Let me just bring a cube for reference. Just think of it as a Z-perm pattern with the back two solved. And yeah, as you can see, these two need to swap and the back two are solved. You're gonna hold it from such an angle that the back and the left side are solved, and this one needs to swap with the edge on the right. So what you're gonna do is a Shrek, And then you can do any one of those two PLL parity algorithms which I just told you before in the previous case alg. So once you do the Shrek move, sorry for that. Once you do the Shrek move, you're just gonna perform PLL parity, the case which I showed you before. And then U prime and insert the pair. So that's it for 4x4. And for 5x5, there's only like one parity case, which is just one parity. This is basically a 4x4 parity, but with a middle piece. As you can see, they kind of look the same, but if you remove the middle layer, then they're like almost the exact same, this middle slice of 5x5. So yeah, so it's basically going to be the same alg as 4x4, but you'll be able to see some differences if you're able to point out like any. So instead of starting off with like a 3R wide, we're gonna start off with a regular R wide, like hold it from here and do this alg. So instead of doing an R wide prime like we did in 4x4, we're gonna do a 3R wide prime because we wanna like bring this wide over here downwards, U2, L wide, U2, and the rest is just the same. So yeah, this is a pretty easy case, and that is it for 5x5. Let's move on to 6x6. Now unfortunately 6x6 is one of the events that I'm not really a big fan of due to parity. It has 5 parities, 2 of them are PLL and 3 OLL parities, and yeah, I'm gonna show you the first OLL parity. I'm gonna show you the OLL parities, then I'll get to the PLL parities. So yeah, we're just gonna call this case a hole flip, where we have like all of the pieces unoriented, just like in 4x4. Let me show you reference. Sorry for those lockups. As you can see, they're pretty similar, and it's basically the same thing, but on 6x6 you just have more layers. So if you know the 4x4 PLL parity alg, I meant OLL parity alg, then yeah, you can just imply on 6x6, but instead of doing R wide, you just do 3R wide like this. These ones, like just turn half of the cube. So without further ado, let's just show you the alg. Forget about whatever I said. Okay, so here it goes. Okay, so that's the first OLL parity case. Now I'm gonna get into the second case. So essentially it's basically like 5x5. Let's see if I can set it up quickly. I'm sorry, it's for the lockups. As you can see, I've set it up on 5x5, and then you can also see it on 6x6. So you see how 5x5 has one middle slice? Just imagine this as a 5x5, even though it's a 6x6, but the middle slice is just 2 middle slices instead. 2 independent middle slices instead of just one whole. So 5x5 can just execute the alg. And basically, instead of turning like the 3 outer layers, the 3, like half of the cube, we're gonna do the same alg. One second, I may need to take a seat. We're gonna do the same alg, but we're gonna only do like turn the outer layer and this outer slice layer, like the 2 outer layers, essentially what I'm trying to say. So same angle as previous case. And yeah, forward from here and perform the alg. Hopefully my finger tricks are not that wonky. Sorry for like starting. if you like sub 10, then maybe like you could like correct me on my finger tricks. Otherwise, yeah. So that's the second all parity out. Let's get into the third one. And yeah, my 6x6 is not that good. Oh no. Okay. So essentially what we got going on here is instead of having actually no, just forget it. Instead of having the outer edges, these two flipped, or like the whole edge flipped, just like we saw in 4x4, and instead of having the outer edges like in 5x5 we had flipped, you already probably know it, so I'm not gonna set it up. If you do not know it, then please rewind so that you know what the 5x5 little parity looks like, and make sure you learn the alg before you learn 6x6 and 7x7 parity algs. So for this case, where this is what we call inner parity, where the two flipped, or the two edges are inside. They're like two flipped edges inside, like between the outer layers and the outer slice layers. The inner slice layer edges are flipped. So what we do is keep it at the back and perform this algorithm. So that alg may be a little bit confusing. I mean, like I first learned that on 7x7, but once you actually drill it enough, then you'll be able to get used to it. So now let's get into PLL parity. I don't have that good hardware, so that's why my finger tricks are not as good. So for the first case, the PLL parity cases are basically gonna be the same as 4x4, as you can see. Here's reference. 4x4 and 6x6, they're literally just the same. They both have the same cases, but just basically different sized cubes and more layers. So you can use the standard alg, but instead of just turning the outer slice layer or only the inner one, we have to like turn both of these, as you can see. So it's just gonna be the same alg as 4x4. If you've not learned the 4x4 PLL algorithm, like the PLL parity, please learn it, as it's an essential. It will help you out in 6x6 and other even numbered cubes. If you even want to like do 8x8, even though it's not an official event. So hold it from this angle, like 4x4, and do this alg. So essentially it's just the same as 4x4, like I've stated multiple times, but you can also use the inverted version like I do. And yeah, I think I messed my 6x6 up, so I'm gonna get back to you in a minute. Okay, so after fixing the mess on my 6x6, I'm gonna show you the last case of 6x6, and then we can move on to one of my favorite events, 7x7. And yeah, so it's basically the same as 4x4, as you can see. Yeah. So basically it's the same alg as 4x4, but on bigger cube with more slicers. So just like in the previous alg, we're gonna use these two slicers for the 2R2s, just in place of these. Instead of this layer, like this layer is essentially just this. So like they're the same. Just imagine that. So yeah, you hold it from the same angle as the 4x4. Do the Shrek move, and then just PLL parity alg, the opposite one, the first PLL parity case which I showed you. The opposite one, like just give me a second. This one, you just have to perform this alg after doing the Shrek move. And then U prime, R, U prime, R prime. Alright, so it's about time we get into my favorite event, 7x7. So yeah, okay. Here's my 7x7. 7x7 has 3 parity cases. All of them are all parity, and remember that all number cubes like 7x7 and 5x5 do not have PLL parity. But even numbered cubes like the 4x4 and 6x6 have PLO parity. So yeah, 7x7, 4x4, two of my favorite events. Now let's get into the first parity of 7x7. So first parity over here, we see that this is basically just 5x5 but bigger. Ignore the middle slice and you see that everything is just flipped, as you can see. So we'll call this inner parity, I think. Yeah, I think it's called inner parity. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. So you hold it from this angle and basically same thing as 5x5. Ignore the middle slice until we get to a certain point like this. You see that I do a 4R prime move, so that, like, I can bring this middle slice over here along with bringing this whole layer down. So yeah, you two, the rest is the same. So that's the first 7x7 OLL parity alg. Second one is basically this one. This is called outer parity. It's basically 7x7 inner parity, but instead of having all of them flipped except for this very middle slice, we actually have like this slice over here, these edges, like these edge pieces preserved. And we need to flip these these two edges over here. Same angle, but this time we're gonna not do like a 3R wide. Instead we're gonna start with like 2R wide, like this, or just call it an R wide, like this. Same alg all the way until we reach this part where we're gonna like drag this all the way down, just like how we did before, but instead the middle slice is gonna be this one, and we also bring this layer down at the same time, like this. And again, the rest is the same. So yeah, this is the last case of this video. So yeah, this is the double parity case, where we basically have like these two inner edges flipped. So if I were to scramble my 7x7 up, for instance, then like this, scramble it up like a 3x3, put it like in anywhere but its solved location, you can see that it kind of looks like this. So this is what it will look like during the solve once you've like built all your centers and stuff, or if you use Yao, like I do for 4x4 and 5x5. 7x7 I use reduction. So yeah, basically as you can see over here, this edge, this is what it looks like, and you see this broken edge. Let me just take a seat. Over here you see we're just gonna put it at the back with the YouTube and execute the algorithm. And remember, this algorithm along with the 6x6 inner parity alg also preserves all the edges on the cube. So yeah, it goes like this. So essentially, that case is basically just 6x6 inner parity, but you have like an extra middle layer. So just imagine it as the 6x6 inner parity. So instead of having to do slice parity, which I have not mentioned in this video, because instead of the slice parity, I found like a faster alg, which was this one, which may be a little confusing. So yeah. Hold at the back for recognition. These two are flipped, the rest is all solved, as you can see. These two right next to this middle slice, and it's basically just like 6x6 inner parity but with an extra M slice, as you can see. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, then drop a like or maybe even a sub. That will really support me on my journey to becoming a good cubing YouTuber. And this is Casual Cubing, signing off.